What's going on, y'all? It is Ludwin, and I'm gonna show you all the new delivery we got from Paraboot. I'm sure most of you all know Paraboot, but if you are uninformed, this is Paraboot. It's a French footwear maker. They have, their flagship model, the Michael, which is probably what they're most popular for, but they also have a host of other incredible footwear options. And for the spring, summer, that's where we like to kind of mix things up because those Tyrolean shoes, those like mountaineering shoes, they're really well suited to the fall, winter, especially with all of the heavy hardware that they put in there. But it's nice to see how they adapt to the spring, summer, and they do some really, really nice options for y'all here. So I'm excited to get into it. The first off, let's get into something that we've had before, the Michael. This is what a lot of people know from Paraboot, like I mentioned. This version is a little bit different than the usual. They generally use kind of their support low leather, a very, very fatty, rich leather that kind of has a natural waterproofness to it, just the way that oil is hydrophobic, so water does not permeate through the leather when it is that rich in oils. But yeah, that's more of like a bad weather boot. This one is their deer skin, so you'll notice that there's a nice like glove leather-like grain to it. So it doesn't have that rich oil. It's not going to have that bloom that you get with that other leather. It's just going to be something a bit more dressy, something a bit more luxe. I think it works well with, I guess some people might wear this, not in a black tie context, but with like a suit. I think this is like the dressier Michael. And I think it works nicely with other things outside of that realm too. You'll notice that the welt is all black. It doesn't have the scalloped edge. It's just a straight edge. If I can show you what their usual storm welt looks like. It kind of usually has that scalloped thing there, which it's nice, but this is a nice little change of pace too. So it's a little less, I guess, attention drawing, just a lot more nice and I guess what quiet luxury people call that. It's really nice though. These shoes, sizing can be all over the place from what you'll see online. We like to tell you, take your usual size. It's a voluminous shoe, but you're gonna wanna take your true EU size. So I'm a 10 and a half, I take a 43 and a half in here, and they fit well. Next up, we have the Adriatic. This is kind of like their like sandal clog situation that we had for the past year. We had in spring, summer last year, and we brought it back again. It was a hit. I really liked it. It's kind of like, a more advanced take of the classic like Burke shape. You get the back strap that you would get to keep you locked in. It has a little bit of elasticity there, so you can really get a fine thing. You're not like in between holes. You're not just going to be dangling there. It will lock you in, which is very sweet. But otherwise, yeah, it's a very wearable color. This kind of like sand suede. It kind of, I think, gets better as you wear it. It starts off a little bit pale, but as you wear it, it picks up color, and will just kind of have a nice, good patina to it. I also really like the sole, kind of angled like teeth going against each other, so you're not going to get any slipping. So they kind of work together to keep you in place. Really great shoe. I'm a big fan of it. Whereas these were kind of like a storm welted, like waterproofed. This is just going to be a classic like a stitch cemented construction. So nothing super fancy. You may be able to get these resold, but I wouldn't bet on it. But this sole does wear in very well over time, so don't worry about that one. Next up, we have two new additions. The first one is a familiar shape, but there are some slightly different construction points going on in it. This is the Paraboot Nantes, and they look very similar to the shoe that I brought out earlier, the Rams. This is kind of like their flagship mock toe loafer style, and it's one that we stock every single time we get. But we do also feel that, spring, summer, while it is a loafer, you kind of want something that's a little less rugged. So this one, you can't feel it, but I'm holding them in both hands. This one has like a very heavy rubber sole, and that makes well for like a very, it has a lot of longevity, as you're walking and trekking. But this one gives you, a very similar rugged option, still has some good longevity to it, but it is a little bit lighter. It's a more natural rubber, something kind of like a gum-soled rubber. You can see Kenshawn wearing them right here. They're in the same sand suede color that we have the Adriatic in. And another point to make it a little bit more summer compatible is that these are unlined. So whereas the ROMs are generally lined and they kind of like really feel like, these bulldozers on your feet. It feels like you can wear them wherever. These feel a little bit more flexible, a little bit more light. You're gonna get an easier time walking around town. So you kind of still have a very safe, I'd say like rugged feel, but your legs are just gonna be less tired at the end of the day. So a really great pickup. I enjoy those a lot. These are made with their classic, you can see that scalloped Norwegian welt going on there. And last but not least, we got the boat shoe. This is called their Bart. It is their flagship boat shoe model. And yeah, it really is just a very well solid execution of a boat shoe. You see it has like a Moxo stitching, very much like their loafer, except you just get these two eyelets that have the leather lacings going through the eyelets around the side. And the construction on this is Blake. So whereas Paraboot is a French company, they make most of their footwear in France. They make these out of Spain. Spain has a pretty rich history in making stitched footwear. And the construction is just going to be less rugged than these, so they needed some separate machines to get that done. So we got them out of Spain, and they're really nice. The sole on this as well is tried and true what you want for a boat shoe. It almost has these lugs that act almost like suction cups in a way. It's very hard to slip on this. You could really try to slip, and I think it's not gonna work. I did. I wet the floor, walked around. I was sturdy on it. So if you got any nice boating events going on or just wanna wear them around the city, they come in this really nice whiskey colored calf leather that I think is just gonna get very rich with age. It'll darken up a slight bit and as you condition it and as you wear it. Yeah, boat shoes, if you are, I guess, uninitiated into the boat shoe world, I do feel like they're very similar to the loafers that we tend to wear, day in and day out, but they just keep you a little bit more secure and the fit is a little bit more democratic. Whereas some loafers just don't work for some feet, the laces on a boat shoe will help you get in there, no problem. Sizing on this, I will mention, these and the Rams are both sized in UK sizing. Whereas these are EU sizing. So you're gonna take your usual EU size here, your usual UK size here. That can cause some confusion because the UK and the US systems are both number based, or I guess like the single digits, right? You get like from like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But UK sizing generally is about a full size larger than your US size. So where I am a 10.5 and I take a 43.5 here, I will take a 9.5 here to achieve the 10.5 fit. So to take one full size down from your US size, but take your true UK size. Hopefully that wasn't too many sizes that I just threw at you. If anything, send me a message, I'll clear it up. And yeah, watch the other videos. Take care, y'all.